Okay guys, welcome back to another gameplay review. I'm Drucifer, and today we're going to be reviewing a game on Endless Vale, playing Survival with Apollos. And I just want to throw you a huge thank you, Apollos, for submitting this gameplay. It is definitely a little bit different than what we've looked at so far. You're a much more mechanically and overall talented player than what we've seen before. So I'll be emphasizing a lot of things you're doing right, in addition to the few things I'll point out that you can work on. And I just also want to throw in that I think you're almost certainly better than I am. So a lot of my advice is just my opinion, but you may have a different take on this. So with that, let's get started.
Your ghost has limited power. Survive at all costs.
Looks like your first decision is to sprint to a 50-50 snipe. Both teams can get to that point in the exact same amount of time, so your decision to push that puts you in a spot where it's just a coin flip on who's going to actually hit the headshot there. I'd say you're better off poking a different lane. Nice job after getting hit there, disengaging. Good awareness of the sniper on your right, not poking that. You can hear an audio cue of the guy on your right, so good job getting out of there. I disagree with you. You shouldn't have taken that fight right there. You were absolute. Should have been doing what you're doing right now. You should have been running away to regen. It ends up working out for you because you triple tap the guy or quadruple tap, but... Oh, bad time to reload.
No lives left for your enemy. No lives left on
There's no reason you couldn't have aimed down sight for that. ADSing would have probably led to a faster time to kill. But still not a bad fight.
30 seconds. Both teams out of reserves. End this.
So you're in a 1v2 right now, so your goal should be to create space. And avoid getting teamed. Nah, that's tough. You're watching two angles there.
You've been defeated.
I'd say if you're in a 1v2, you probably want to move around a little bit more than that, just because your enemies can communicate since there's two of them and figure out how to flank you, like they did there. Okay, you're sprinting straight for that 50-50 snipe again. You're a quick sniper, so you're going to get rewarded for that a lot, but you could take out any chance from there by going to a different lane. You're tagged now and burning. I would not have continued that engagement. Both of you and your teammate got tagged. I would have backed out and taken a different fight. So just a trend here, you play really aggressively, relying on your mechanical skill in the game to make up for poor decision making, which can be a valid strategy.
Enemy team is out of lives. Topple them.
Ooh, close one. But another thing I'm noticing is you aren't really playing to control heavy. It looks like you're almost completely ignoring it. And in a better world, everybody would ignore heavy and it would be a more pure game. But we don't live in that better world, so I would say you should be playing for it to control access to it. You don't have to use it if you're trying to keep the game more pure, but you should pick it up at the very least to deny the enemy. And like I've talked about in other videos, you can use it to bait the enemy into making poor decisions. Nice grenade and radar awareness there. You see that he's just around that corner. Your grenade doesn't quite hit in the perfect spot, but it was a good way to try and flush him out. Good job. If you look at your radar, your teammate's doing a really good job sticking with you. And nice job jumping around that corner to try and throw off his aim. Although a slide might have been better.
It's dead even. Which of you will survive?
Yet again, going for this 50-50 snipe, And then you're poking it after, yeah.
3
So
lives
that's
left.
the 50-50 snipe I'm talking about. You can take that chance out of the game by just not engaging there at all. Time to go. I think he stayed too long against that guy. He's closing the gap on you, but he's late enough. Alright, this is a risky time to activate your ults. We'll see how it works out for you. High risk, high reward maybe. But you did have enemies on every side, so just food for thought. Looks like it worked out. And nice job using discretion. Saw in the last video somebody doing the opposite of that. Just because you have super luck doesn't mean you want to push into the enemy. Awesome jobs holding back and resisting the temptation to push in at the end of your super.
1 minute left.
Sliding into that lane was the right call to initiate your snipe. You just did it again. Makes it really hard for somebody else to snipe you. But I'd argue an even better decision would have been to challenge a different lane that didn't have somebody hard scoped in it already. You play on a very high sensitivity for your controller.
30
Or at least it looks like you do.
Teams out of reserves. End this. Smashed your enemies to dust.
So you could have left that green brick for your teammate. Depending on how your communications go, and you have plenty of sniper ammo, and whoever your teammate is might be a little low. So no need to be greedy.
Stay there.
Again, you're challenging that 50-50, and nothing you're doing is going to get you there any faster than the enemy, so you could easily die.
One after another.
I'm gonna assume that's a quick draw snapshot, beloved. Must be nice.
3 lives left.
Nice job. Oh. No, can't win them all. You just you ran across that sniper lane without, and you slid a little bit late. Probably would have made sense to jump across it or slide a little bit earlier.
Your team
And then you definitely, yeah, let's step it back. So I was talking about something else. Right here, you have that guy absolute, but we know, look at your radar right now. We know there's 2 guys there. And then you decide to keep pushing here against 2 enemies, one of whom has close to full health, one of whom's absolute. But 2 enemies against you, and you don't have full health. I think this is kind of an overall trend with your gameplay throughout this video. The right decision here would have been to back out, regen your health, and take a different fight. Even though you have 1 player absolute, this is not an advantageous fight.
Your team's out of line.
Maybe you're shaking your head at that.
Neither team has lives left. Show no mercy. 1 minute. No more second chances. Fight to the finish.
Really good job keeping track of your radar there. Unfortunate throwing knife.
Not this time.
But great job noticing your radar really quickly and reorienting.
You're evenly matched, but one team must fall.
I disagree, Shax. I think Apollos' team is way better than the other team. Nice job. Again, though, probably shouldn't have challenged that 50-50 snipe in the beginning. You could have gone for a different angle instead and gained an advantage. You already know that that guy's sitting in that lane from your teammate's positioning, and your continual repoking of the lane is a poor decision. You should have just, once you saw your teammate was getting hit from that angle, you shouldn't have even challenged it. Reorient or throw a grenade. Same thing here, you already know there's snipers in this lane, you shouldn't be poking it. Now you know there's only 1 left, but still, not a good call. Okay, you know they're chasing you, trying to duck and weave, good job. That was a great time to dodge roll.
You're neck and neck on reserves.
Nice job listening to that audio cue, hearing him jump and aiming your reticule up. In fact, let's go back to that because that's a great opportunity to teach. Alright, so you hear the jump cue right there. I'll just play it one more time. Listen for it. There's the jump cue, and then you move your reticule up there to look for him, expecting him to jump around the corner. That's great game sense.
And that's why we have fire teams. No lives left for anyone. Rest when you're dead. "30 seconds. Both teams out of reserves. End this."
I would not have popped my super there. You're in a 1v3, and you are already about to die. So overall, not the time to pop your super. You're given into temptation and panic.
Your legend rose.
Ooh, you almost had it though.
Last shot at survival. Your enemy
But yeah, that was a poor choice. I'd say that was kind of a panic super. Or if it wasn't a panic super, it was just a poor decision.
Your enemy has match point. Nothing changes. Take them out.
Alright, let's see how you guys bring this back. Nice job keeping track of radar and understanding that your enemy is actually not on the little pedestal there. Alright, I wouldn't have gone for that snipe. As soon as you heard that super pop, I would have run away. Ooh, and then I would have stayed right where you were and hard scoped next to where your teammate was because you knew the super was going to push him.
One minute. You're ahead on lives.
I don't know. We're going to step back to that. You should not have slid into that lane. Let's look and see what you had on your radar.
You're ahead on lives.
Oh, you have one tick on your radar, so you know there's one dude. You only had an indication that there's one dude, but you can safely assume he's hard scoping the lane. You did a good job sliding into it, but you could have done a better job by priming that with a grenade or trying to find a different angle since this guy is hard scoped. Now you're separated from your team. Why Destiny didn't choose to spawn you somewhere closer, I'll never know.
Has no reserves left. Finish them. 30 seconds.
So you got distracted by the orb, and you didn't slide across the most popular sniper lane on this map. You should have jumped or slid, some combination there to avoid that. You got lucky though, you just got body shot.
No lives left for anyone. Rest when you're dead.
Nice job. Off radar where you were makes it very easy sniper lane for you to hard scope in.
What? Ow! You obliterated the enemy. Match point, and it's tied.
Alright, no pressure. 3v3, 2 supers against 1. Nice, I like that you didn't go for that snipe right off the bat. Uh-oh, don't disappoint me. No! You still went for it, and you would have been the last person to get there if anybody else had looked at the lane. I don't think that was the right call at all. Nice job pre-firing that corner.
Now you're fighting with heart, Guardian.
Oh yeah, you guys are going to run away with this. This is how every round should have looked. You guys are so much better than the team you're playing against. Nice job not limiting your scope. Look for a couple seconds and then get out of there.
3 lives left.
Good job. Run away from this guy. Then reorient yourself with your sniper once you get to the end of your spawn. Take a stand.
1 minute. You're ahead
Nice.
on lives. Enemy team is out of lives. Topple them.
Nice job taking a snipe and then immediately dodging, not waiting to see if you actually get the hit. And great job not challenging the golden gun.
30 seconds. Play your enemy and they stay dead.
Nice win.
Enemies
Even
down.
made one of them quit.
All lives expended.
Nothing like some poor sportsmanship to finish a game. Alright, so like I said before, you are a very talented player. You're very good mechanically, and I'd say your biggest weakness is you use that as your crutch and your excuse to make risky plays. So my biggest piece of advice for you would be to not crutch on your mechanical talent and to just push yourself to get better by not challenging 50-50 snipes, not sliding into lanes that already have snipers established in them, and instead trying to outthink your opponent or work on positioning to some place that you can use to your advantage as the enemy rotates. So I'll break this down at the end like I do all the videos I've done into mechanics, positioning, and decision making. So mechanics, honestly, I really don't have much for you. Every sniper can continue to improve by taking their sniper into PvE and practicing quick scoping ads. And then you did jump a couple times to initiate engagements where I thought you probably should have slid to initiate them. But you may, I don't know. I'll just leave that one as a opinion and you can take it or leave it. As far as positioning, your whole team seemed to have no concern at all over heavy the entire game. I saw you shoot the heavy off the map, so maybe that's a personal stand you're taking, but I like to treat heavy like an objective in the game. I like to play it as a way to bait the enemy. You don't have to use it, but you should control the heavy and not allow your enemy to get it. And if you pick it up and you don't believe in using it, then shoot it off the map. That's great. You continually challenge snipers when they're already established in lanes. You do it with good technique. You slide into the challenge, which we saw over and over again today, but you did it a lot of the time when you already had a life advantage or when it just wasn't required. So if you have to take a challenge against a lane, that's how you should do it. But overall, you should avoid entering a lane in any way that's already being challenged by a sniper with a hard scope established of it in it. And that kind of bleeds over into decision making. At the beginning of almost every round, you sprinted for the 50-50 snipe in the main sniper lane, unless so the reason why I don't like this, just to reiterate, is both teams have the same distance to get to that 50-50 snipe to take it. So that one time when you traded is a good example of what can happen. So both of you get to lane at the same time, you scope in at the same time, and you hit each other at the same time. Or one of you, just by luck, happens to get there a little bit sooner or shoot a little bit faster. And I just think overall, it's not a high skill play, and you're better off avoiding the 50-50 snipes. You'll see your KD climb if you avoid them. There were a couple times where you didn't wait until you fully regened your health to re-enter a fight. That was more in the beginning of the game. It seemed like you got a little bit wiser as you realized that you guys needed to be more conservative as the game progressed. But anyway, and then decision making is kind of also the category I'd throw sliding into guarded lanes on. So just I'd stop doing that unless you're just trying to put together your montage clip of crazy snipes on guarded lanes. So that's all I have. Again, I really appreciate it. I'd be really curious to see your takeaways and any disagreements you have with what I've said, if you don't mind adding that to the chat on Crucible Playbook. And other than that, have a good day.